almost live from the Herbert I. Greenberg Studios at WHIG. It's Up Late with Sam Bass.
Thank you, Scott Smith, and thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight. We have a great show for you. You know, it's getting close to Valentine's Day and love is in the air. And Lynda Loveland is in our green room. That's right, Lynda Loveland, former anchor from WRAL and radio personality. She's our special guest hanging out in the green room. We're going to get to her later. We're going to find out what she's doing now. But let's get back to the Valentine's Day thing for a minute. I want to take a minute to talk about this holiday a little bit and let people know exactly what you're celebrating. You think it's about candy and flowers and sweet little cards, right? Let me read you a little history here. Valentine's Day started in ancient Rome as a 3-day festival with a bunch of drunk, naked people. Well, I guess that part hadn't changed much. But anyway, the ancient Romans would brutally sacrifice a couple of poor animals, get drunk, and have a matchmaking lottery where the men would draw names of women from a jar and they would be paired up to do drunk and naked things.
Oh no.
That's kind of like a really sick version of Spin the Bottle, right? So for the remainder of the festival, this would go on. Doesn't sound very romantic at all to me. It actually gets worse. Later on, sometime in the 3rd century AD, a Roman emperor executed a couple of guys named Valentine on February 14th. And it became known as St. Valentine's Day. Over the following centuries, the festival became intertwined with other pagan festivals of love and fertility happening around the same time, and eventually, you knew it would happen, Hallmark got involved. And now we have it as a sweet, sappy holiday we all know as love, instead of the brutal, bloody day it originally was. Now, there are some folks who go all out, buy jewelry, go out to dinner, that kind of thing, have a big old time, or they go to CVS and get a box of candy and a card, like me, call it a day. So that brings me to my top 5 list tonight. I have them here. Real Valentine's cards, folks. We're top notch on here. So here they are, the 5 worst Valentine's cards. Number 5. Oh, look. This one is from Joe Biden to his wife, Jill. Maybe I can get through the gibberish and make it make sense. To my Valentine, Jill, after all these years, I'm still falling for you. In fact, I'm falling everywhere I go. Off my bike, down the steps, up on the stage. Well, I guess it was kind of sweet. Love, Joe. Aww. Number 4. We're equal on this show, folks. This one's from Donald Trump to his wife, Melania. My dear Melania, or I should say, this is huge. My dear Melania, I know things have been stormy between us. Wait a minute. Isn't Stormy the actress that he was supposedly had an affair with? Anyway, going on here. My dear Melania, I know things have been stormy between us. But you have grabbed my heart in the way I grabbed... Never mind, I can't finish that. Number 3. This one is from Ozzy Osbourne to his wife, Sharon. I'm going to do my best Ozzy here. Hopefully you can understand me because you can't understand him. Here we go. Sharon, I got you the most beautiful dove for Valentine's Day, but I can't remember what I did with it. So I got you this bloody card instead. I seem to recall an incident with Ozzy and a dove here. Maybe this goes back to the ancient Romans and the animal sacrifices. Number 2. I'm very hesitant to read this one. From Bill Cosby. Dear Valentine, I promise you this is just a candy heart and not a Quaalude. Here, try one. Look, it even says just relax.
Oh no.
That is not cool. You know, I've never been able to watch these pudding pop commercials the same since Bill went through his stuff. Creep. All right, and here it is. The number one worst Valentine's card you would ever want to receive. Pretty bad. It's from Jeffrey Dahmer. This ought to be a good one. Dear Valentine, I would love to eat your heart out. Love, Jeffrey. Real simple and to the point. It's got to be kind of older because I think somebody shanked him in prison several years ago, but this is, I guess, is out of the archives, but pretty tough. We'll be right back. Sit tight. Lynda Loveland's coming right up.
Metro Maintenance has provided fast, reliable services in Nash, Edgecombe, and Halifax counties for over 35 years. Metro Maintenance offers services for residential, commercial, and institutional facilities. These services include heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and general repairs. Our numerous years of experience, knowledge, and resources help us to accomplish our mission of serving our customers with superior service achieved through integrity and hard work. All of our work is guaranteed. For service, call 252-977-2730 or find us on the web at metro-maintenance.com.
Welcome back. I'm sitting here with Lynda Loveland in person, folks, right here in Rocky Mount.
It is such a pleasure to be here.
I really appreciate you coming and doing this.
It's a good time. Thanks
I've been
for
watching you on
inviting me.
TV for all those years, and it's just a treat to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to get this out of the way. How tall are you?
Flat-footed, I am 6'1½".
Okay.
6'1½".
You're still taller than me, flat-footed. I'm 6'1". So you're kind of a tall girl.
I'm kind of tall. It's fun. I used to tell people I'm like, 5'13½". And sometimes they wouldn't get it. And they'd say, I swore you were
That's
at least
funny.
6 foot. But
That's
yeah,
funny. Well, so my daughter's kind of tall, too, and she likes being tall.
I do too.
You know, you stand out in the picture.
Yeah. In fact, all you could see of my pictures usually is from here up because I'm always in the back.
That's good. So you grew up on a farm, correct?
I did.
So, you started out livestock shows, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching WRAL back in the day. You would be on the State Fair milking cows and stuff like that.
That's my favorite.
So how did you get started? You grew up on a farm.
Yep.
I'm sure your parents were farmers.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so grew up on a farm in southwest Missouri, south of Springfield, Missouri. Maybe you've heard of Bass Pro Shops?
Yes.
Springfield, Missouri is a home of Bass Pro Shops.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So I grew up there on a farm just south of Springfield. Grew up there my whole life, was in 4-H, FFA, showed cattle all through the summer, was very involved in that. Didn't really know what I wanted to do in school, but ended up majoring in radio, TV, film, went to school at the university, finished up at the University of North Texas, actually, and then my career was born.
Where did you start your broadcast career?
KLST in San Angelo, Texas.
Okay.
I think it was market 150, 148, something like that. And then from there went to Columbia, Missouri, and from there WRAL.
So getting back to your farm life, you used to show livestock at fairs too?
Every summer, yeah. Every summer.
So how old were you at this period
I
of time?
probably started in middle school, so I was maybe 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, right around there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have a big family, you have a lot of siblings?
2 older sisters, they're 11 and 12 years older than me, so I was kind of like an only child, yeah. I think it was a little bit of an oops.
Yeah, well, I have a brother that's 8 years younger. We always say he was a mistake. But he said he was a surprise.
A surprise.
So, yeah, so are they tall like you are?
They are. I've got my oldest sister is 6 foot, my middle sister is 5'10", and then I'm 6'1½". So yeah, I'm the biggest.
Okay. So I've got a picture of you standing with a group of other young women, and you're kind of towering over them a little bit. We're going to put the
I'm
picture
sure
up.
I am.
Was this at a fair? What was this?
Yeah. Oh, so that was up for the National Shorthorn Queen. That was a competition in Denver, Colorado. First time I ever took a plane, but I was the Missouri Shorthorn Queen, and so we were there for the national competition.
You were the Shorthorn Queen.
Yes.
That doesn't even make sense.
Breed of cattle. Yes, that's what I showed. That's what I showed. Cattle all summer long. I showed Shorthorn. So I was the Shorthorn Queen for Missouri.
That's the interesting fact. You will not hear this anywhere else, folks. So you were at Capital Broadcasting Company for about 20 years, correct?
Yeah, sure was.
And first on TV, then on radio. How did that transition go between the two?
It's funny. It was actually kind of hard going from TV to radio, because in TV you have to be very objective. So you're right down the middle of the road. You can't have an opinion. You are just giving the news, and you let people have their own opinion, right? Make their own opinion from that. But when you go to radio, to have a good radio show, you have to have an opinion.
Right.
You can't just be some chump who's just saying what's going on. You've got to have an opinion. That just makes it more interesting, right? And that was the hardest thing for me to do. They said, Lynda, have an opinion, about something. That was the hardest thing. But making the transition from radio to TV, going back to TV, I think actually loosened me up a little bit and made me a better anchor.
So when you went to radio, does that save you time in the morning getting ready?
Yes.
You got to roll out of bed in your pajamas and go to work?
Almost. It did save me time, but I still got ready. I always wore appropriate clothing, but it did save me some time, yes.
Which one did you enjoy one more than the other?
I enjoyed both, actually. The funny thing with radio was that you started talking and having this conversation with like 3 or 4 other people in the room, and you forget how many thousands of people are listening, just like in TV. But it was a little more conversational, a little more personal, and sometimes you kind of forgot that a little bit.
Do you still keep in touch with Bill Jordan?
Yeah, everybody from both TV and radio. Yeah, it's great to see everybody. We still try to get together.
I used to love listening to you guys in the morning. It was a great radio show.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
It's just not the same as it used to be these days.
Everything is different, Sam, isn't it?
Is it?
Yes.
So now you're working for Farm Bureau. So what exactly are you doing for them?
I'm the Director of Communications for the North Carolina Farm Bureau Federation. So this is the agriculture side and not the insurance side. We are the voice of agriculture.
So you've come full circle, kind of.
I really have. That's what makes
really
it kind
cool.
of interesting. Yeah, I didn't think I would be going back to that, but the way things worked out, and it's been fantastic.
So do you think your experience with TV and radio has helped you in this role?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually do a lot of the same things. We're sharing stories, and that's what I did in both TV, really, and radio in different ways, was sharing stories, telling stories, and that's what I'm doing now.
So do you see any big issue right now facing farmers in North Carolina that?
Yeah, right to farm, protections, as water issues that can always be an issue, labor issues. Labor is an issue for everybody, for every business.
Yeah.
There aren't enough people to work.
Exactly. I know the wastewater from hog farms and stuff like that, it's a big issue.
It is a big issue, something that they're great at dealing with and working to change and to make better all the time, but there are all kinds of rules and regulations regarding that, so it's a very strict and very monitored thing.
I recently saw a show on Netflix, this You Are What You Eat. Don't watch it. It's about, and there's a lot of North Carolina farms are featured in there, and it's not positive stuff.
No, and you have to remember who makes a lot of those films, too. That's something to dig into. So
there was somewhat of an agenda I could pick up in there. So,
yeah, that's something to keep in mind.
Okay, so we're going to move on. So I was stalking your Instagram. I'm not a stalker.
Uh-oh.
I was doing research, actually.
Oh, is that what they call it?
And I came across a picture of a contraption. I want you to tell me exactly the story behind it.
Are you referring to the banana hammock?
I guess that's what it is. That's not the same banana hammock I'm thinking about, but tell me about the banana hammock in the picture.
Well, when you think of banana hammock, there's certainly something that comes to mind. This is not that. This is something completely different. This is born out of necessity, which I guess they both are, technically. But this particular banana hammock came about because we have a dog that is always on the countertop, reaching up to get everything. And he is big enough that he can reach to the back of the counter and get everything. No matter how far you push things back, he can reach it. And he loves bananas. So he would always snag, and we'd find the tips from the bunch of bananas somewhere behind the chaise lounge. He would take a whole bunch and sneak behind there and eat them, and that's all we would find left.
Well, I have a dog now. I had another dog before, and one day they got a bunch of bananas down, and I know exactly what you're talking about. They do like bananas, though.
Sounds like you need a banana hammock.
Maybe I do. I might already have one. Maybe not. All right, so I got another one. This freaked me out a little bit. It's a picture of your couch that you cleaned out. So I want you to, it's obvious that y'all eat on your couch because there's spoons and forks and stuff in there.
You'll have to explain the we.
And dog hair. So Tell me a little bit about this picture.
I feel like I'm being outed with this, kind of. So we were doing a cleaning, and we thought, so we got, you take up the couch cushions. There's always stuff everywhere. Well, this particular couch, for whatever reason, you take off the cushions, and there's more there than meets the eye. So you clean all that up. So it was clean. And then we started feeling around deep in the corners, and this couch has really deep pockets. Like it's another 4 inches down along each side. So we started reaching up in there, down in there, and pulling all this stuff out, and it just kept going, and it kept going. And that was the final product. Everything you see in that picture we found deep in the wedge of the couch.
Well, I've been told you did an inventory.
We did an inventory, and this is what we came up with.
You're going to tell us what was in there.
Yep, there was one thing actually you don't see in the picture. They were handcuffs, kids' handcuffs, and I had already started to put things away, and so that didn't make the picture.
I'm glad they were kids' handcuffs, because that would be more explaining as you'd have to do.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Kids' handcuffs. Okay, so we found 5 forks, 4 spoons, pair of pliers, 6 chapsticks, 9 writing utensils, pens and pencils, 3 straws, nail clippers, 2 Nerf bullets, 1 bamboo skewer, 4 AA batteries, 11 candy wrappers, 2 chip clips, dental floss, a sliced cheese wrapper, 71 cents, Christmas lights remote, which actually came in handy. We finally found that. That was very important. The TV remote, the other TV remote, Zombie Run card game. I don't even know what that is. I don't remember seeing it. 13 trading cards, $10 Apple gift card, and 2 popsicle sticks.
Wow. So what did you do with all this stuff when you got it out there? You just threw it in the trash?
Everything except the utensils. We washed those suckers and kept them.
Right?
Yeah, we kept those.
So there was dog hair. So
Yeah.
you have dogs.
We have dogs.
Tell me about your dogs.
We have 2 Old English sheepdogs. They are almost 11 years old, and then we have a 3-year-old mix that's Lab, Great Dane, and Bloodhound. Very strange mix. Very fun dog. It is. And then we just got a 15-week-old Great Dane puppy.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have a house
full. Great
full.
Dane, and he's a puppy. He's already big, right?
40 pounds.
Wow.
40
My dog's
pounds.
full grown. She's a chocolate lab, and she's 60 pounds. She's full grown. So
She's gonna be biggin'.
yeah, I would think so.
Yep.
So you're married,
Yep.
and how long you been married?
22 years.
So on Valentine's Day, does your husband give you the dinner and the jewelry or box of candy and the card like I do?
We're more of he knows I love chocolate. So honestly, I prefer the chocolate, and usually gets chocolate and flowers, and we'll do dinner.
Y'all don't sacrifice animals or anything like that?
No, we had not in a long
That's
time.
good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Not in a long time. Just checking.
Keeping it real.
So my staff, I've got a crack research staff. They're out of Macon, North Carolina. They tell me you have 3 kids, 3
Yep.
children. Tell me about them.
16, 18, and 20. So, yes, they're very busy. They're very involved with sports. I've got 2 in college right now, one that's still in high school at Apex High School, a junior finishing up. And so between sports, my oldest wants to be a veterinarian, a large animal and exotic veterinarian. My son doesn't quite know what he wants to do yet. We're still figuring that out. And my youngest doesn't know what she wants to do quite yet either, but she's in the middle of playing volleyball and just wants to do that in college.
So we have a picture of your daughter, and you said she was almost as tall as you.
Mm-hmm. My youngest is almost 5'11", yeah. So.
Is it a competition? I mean, a height competition?
It's funny. It's more of a competition with my son. He likes to be taller than me. He's 6'3", almost 6'4".
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's
How old is he?
He's 18.
Oh, yeah.
He likes to tell me, he's like, Mom, you're looking really short these days.
So he starts looking down on you. That's a big deal.
That's a weird feeling, yes.
So speaking of the competition, you played volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
So in high school, is that correct?
Yep, in high school. Mm-hmm.
I would think you would be a great volleyball player.
It's fun, yeah. I only played in my high school, so I mean it was a good time. I played more basketball than I did volleyball, but right now I play in some volleyball leagues like the Y League and an Apex League and that kind of thing. Kind of keeps you.
I'd hate to be across the net from you.
Well, they're all men's nets, so they're a little bit higher, so that
Yeah.
makes it kind of tough. But it's fun, keeping you moving,
Have you ever played? This is a trick question here, so be careful how you answer. This could our friendship could hinge on this.
Ooh, okay.
Have you ever played pickleball?
No,
Great.
never played. That's the
Don't
one
start.
thing. Okay.
All it is tennis with a wiffle ball.
Have you even attempted?
No.
Why not?
It's for old people, not young people like us.
Everybody plays pickleball. Even my daughters played pickleball.
Well, that's fine. My daughter plays pickleball too, so I give these people a hard time. but it's, I guess it's okay.
Well, maybe we should take the show on the road out to a pickleball court and see how that goes.
Maybe, maybe not. So you have a bit of a daredevil side, I'm guessing, because we found a picture of you rappelling down a building.
That was a benefit for Special Olympics. I just did it without even thinking. I just tried to sort of shut down while I did that. It's for a great cause. It's to raise awareness, and WRAL anchors had done that every year, and they asked me to do that. And without really thinking about it, I just sort of agreed. It's sort of one of those things, yeah, I'll do that. And then the closer you get to it, you're thinking, that may have been a bad choice. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
So they kind of had to twist your arm a little bit, or did you didn't think about it?
No, I was like, no, I'm going to do it. Oh my God, what did I just sign up for? You know, one of those kind of things.
So I think I remember Elizabeth Gardner did it.
Yep.
And who else?
Gosh, I don't know if Ken Smith eventually ended up doing it. I want to say maybe Amy Wilmot did. There are several people who have done it. And
it's like every year thing.
Every year.
Off the Wells Fargo building in Raleigh.
Yeah, every year. But what was interesting about that time, so we did some training before, and they say you just sort of like, you know, you go over sort of backwards, so your back is facing out. So you're facing the top of the building, and you know all that's out back there. But then when it came time, and you're also live on the news at the same time, right? So there's that added pressure. So we get to the edge, I'm all suited up, get to the edge, the tall of the building. I can't remember how many stories it was like scary. But they said, okay, now so this time though, we want you to just sit on the edge and like dip over the side like you're getting into a pool. So I'm sitting on the edge of this tall building in downtown Raleigh, with my hands on the edge, and they said, okay, just push yourself down over the edge like you're and then just turn around and face the building. Well, I'd never done that before. So you're looking out over the entire city of Raleigh,
God.
how many stories up, and then you go over the edge and then just have to flip, and then that's all live on air. But we did it, got it done.
I don't know if I could do that or not. I'm not really good with heights. But
Well, it was the fastest descent they'd ever had.
you want to get it over with, I guess.
At that point, it's like, oh, let's get down, Zzz, all the way down.
So what's next for Lynda Loveland? Is there anything you haven't tried that you want to do, or any place you want to visit, that kind of thing?
I wouldn't mind doing some traveling, but I've been so fortunate that I've been able to see a lot and do a lot, and I feel I'm really fulfilled with all of that, and I love what I do for Farm Bureau, getting to share stories of agriculture and the people who feed us. So there's not a lot left on the table. I mean, I can always like to see a lot of different things, but yeah, I love what I do. I don't want to stop anytime soon.
So nothing left on the bucket list, like learning how to play pickleball, anything like that?
No, I've even raced a car at Charlotte. You know, I did that one time too.
I remember
so
Mike
that was a
Easley
lot
did
of
that,
fun.
the former governor, and wrecked it. Remember that? He wrecked one.
I do.
You didn't do that, did you? You didn't wreck
No,
it.
I think my average speed was 131 by the time you took everything into the straightaways.
People don't
and
realize
the
how high
corners.
those banks are.
It's really banked. Like some of the smaller tracks, like you can barely walk up the bank. It's
Yeah, I've been out there on the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it is really unbelievable how high that bank is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And so I've got another question.
Okay.
Since you grew up around cattle, and you might want to defer this question to Mark Roberts.
Okay.
And there's a reason.
Oh boy.
I saw you on the Raleigh Christmas Parade, by the way. Do you know how to play? Sit tight. It's a surprise. The cowbell.
That may be the easiest instrument. Yes.
So I know
That I
Mark
can
Roberts
do.
had a T-shirt that said "More Cowbell."
More cowbell.
I remember that because he plays the drums.
Yes, he does. He's a
So-
multi-talented kind of guy.
Yeah, he's kind of a crazy guy. Well, look, I want to thank you for taking the time to come down here and visiting with us. It's been a real pleasure for you to be here.
Thank you. I really appreciate the
Love to have you
invitation.
back sometime.
I would love that.
Thank
I would
you
love
so
that.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Metro Maintenance has provided fast, reliable services in Nash, Edgecombe, and Halifax counties for over 35 years. Metro Maintenance offers services for residential, commercial, and institutional facilities. These services include heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and general repairs. Our numerous years of experience, knowledge, and resources help us to accomplish our mission of serving our customers with superior service achieved through integrity and hard work. All of our work is guaranteed. For service, call 252-977-2730 or find us on the web at metro-maintenance.com.
Hey, I want to thank my special guest, Lynda Loveland, for coming down to Rocky Mount and visiting with us tonight. Had a great conversation. My next guest is a young man by the name of Austin Myrick. He is the brew mill manager out at Rocky Mount Mills, and he will be bringing some special refreshments for us when he comes. So join us every Thursday night at 10 o'clock right here on Up Late with Sam Bass. I'll see you soon.